Everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio, and it's Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Assignment time. And we are on week 4. For those of you that are joining for the first time and aren't familiar with this is a weekly challenge that was created by Margarete Miller, and I will link her Etsy shop where you can purchase the assignments in the description box. And you can do several things. You can print out just the prompts and put them in your own book. You can print out an entire planner for the year, or you can purchase a planner from her. And what she does is every week she has a list of 5 prompts and a bonus, and you're to create a collage using the 5 prompts. If there is a prompt that you don't want to do or you don't have in your stash, you can substitute the 6th one for one of those, but I usually try and do all 6. I started this late last year, probably about week 13, and I did the rest of the year, but I didn't video them. And so this year I am trying to video all of them. I did video last week's, but my phone cut off when I was recording, and so it did not record. But I will show you what I came up with last week. And so, like I said, we're on week 4, and this is a really fun thing to do. And if you want to check that out, like I said, I'll put her link in the description box. I'm just using a regular sketch diary book that is 9.5 by 6. Some people are using altered books. Some people are using bigger multimedia books, mixed media books, whatever you want to do. And like I said, she does have a downloadable, printable planner, or you can purchase the planner from her. So we'll quickly go through. This was week 1. And this is week 2. And that's another thing I like about using these sketchbooks, because you can turn, the page however you want to do your collage. It doesn't have to be the same. And this was last week, the one that I thought I was filming and was not. And so, like I said, we are on week 4. And let's look at the prompts. So prompt number 1 is something fancy, and I'm going with kind of an Asian theme this week, because that's what I found the prompts for, and I kind of based everything around that. So my something fancy is this Asian lady here. I think she's very fancy, and she's also holding a pretty fancy little box there. So we're going to use her as our something fancy. And then something that starts with an H. I have this Asian playing card that has a couple of horses on it. And so horses start with H, so that's going to be our H. Part of a recipe. That one was a little tougher for me, because I realized in all the junk that I have, I don't really have a any kind of recipe book or cookbook or anything like that. But I did find this little recipe for making a perfect pot of tea in one of my books, and so I thought that would work with the tea and the Asian theme and that kind of thing. So I thought that would go pretty well. And then we have a tree with fruit or blossoms, and I'm going to use this, and this is just out of a paper pad. I want to say maybe Stamperia, I believe. I'm pretty sure that it's Stamperia. Oh, and by the way, this image is from, oh, my mind just went totally blank when I was going to tell you. I'll think of it in a minute and tell you. And then we need something torn, and I have several things here that we can tear. And then the bonus is something used in the office. And I have a Post-it note, because who doesn't have Post-it notes in their office? And so I believe, oh, and I also have some hole reinforcers that I think I'm going to use. I believe that's everything. The only other things that I have is I have some washi tape that has some dragonflies on it, which also can be something torn that I may use. And then I have my little regular favorite stamps little collection over here that I like to use in the background to finish things off. And then I also have my number 4, which is on this old vintage stamp, and it's really little. It's right there, number 4. So let's figure out what we're gonna do. I hope everybody is having a good day and they are surviving the cold weather and the snow and all that kind of stuff. We actually had a pretty good day today. It's I'm going to save this scrap to stamp on. It got up to about 50, which is pretty good, but we're supposed to be really cold this weekend, so I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, and I'm just going to rip around this, which this also would qualify as torn, I guess. And I'm saving those little blank pieces because this paper is really kind of cool in this book. It's real smooth and it's got kind of a yellowed edge, so I think it would make a really good surface to stamp on. So this is going to be, I think, my biggest major piece in the back. And I'm going to ink that up, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the rest of this. This one came together pretty quick once I found my something fancy piece. And I knew it was going to be this Graphics Fairy. See, I told you, I knew it would come to me. That's from Graphics Fairy. But once I found her, the rest of it came together pretty quick. Except for me discovering I didn't have any cookbooks. But I don't need any more stuff right now, so we'll just have to not have any cookbooks. Alright, so that's going to be our main background. I'm going to go ahead and ink this piece and the card as well while we're inking. I found this deck of cards at a thrift store, and I thought they were really cool. The whole deck has some kind of Asian scene on it, and they're really, I've used them in a couple of Asian journals that I've done. All right, so we have our lady, we have our blossoming tree here. How do we want that to go? Kind of like that. And then we've got a few pieces of scrapbook paper. I've got a couple of little quotes too that we may or may not use. But I'm thinking this piece of paper could go maybe on top of that so that that Post-it is not so just a big piece of pink. course, by the time I cover it up, it probably won't be a big piece of pink anyway. But yeah, I think it looks better with it. Alright, so let's ink the edges of the Post-it. Because everybody has Post-its. I know I do. Age that, wrinkle it a little, give it a little wrinkle, and then kind of go over it. And what we might do is stick it behind like that, and then we might tear these edges so we have some more torn. I keep feeling like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Okay, let's ink this one up. Maybe put that, something like that. Or maybe do it opposite, move the pink over. Yeah, I think that, like that better. Okay, and then we've got our slide under there, booger. Maybe kind of like that. And then we've got our recipe. And then I think I'm gonna put some of this as well. Again, we'll tear it. Ink it. I might turn this the other way so you can actually see. I'm more interested in seeing the instructions than I am seeing the name where it says a perfect pot of tea. Alright, and let's put another. This is probably not how it's going to end up because that would just be too simple because I haven't moved it around 5,000 times. That was one of the reasons that I didn't film it last year, is because I could never make up my mind where I wanted stuff on the collage, and I just fiddled around with it too much instead of just doing it. So I'm trying not to do that this year. I just want to, you know, get my pieces down where my first thoughts are and just go on from there. And I think I'll put that there to kind of ground her feet. Then don't want to completely cover up. Post-it, but I obviously don't want that to be the main focus either. Alright, let's start gluing some of these down so I can change my mind. Alright, so we know These are going to be the first ones. Let me get my glue back over here. So I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram, but today is my daughter and son-in-law's 15th wedding anniversary. And so they're celebrating that today. And all that does is make me feel old. But and I think it was just about as cold this day 15 years ago than it is today. Actually, it's probably a little colder because my daughter wanted a winter wedding and she wanted it to snow on her wedding. And there was like almost no chance of snow because we live in the South. We don't get snow very often. And so that was like, you know, probably not gonna happen. And so we had the ceremony and at the church, and we came out of the church to go to the reception, and it was snowing. She was so excited. So she got snow on her wedding. And it wasn't, and the good thing about it wasn't bad enough to like keep anybody from getting to the reception or mess up the roads or anything like that. You know, it's just big pretty flakes. So it worked out well. They met in college. They both were there on athletic scholarships. My daughter was there on a softball scholarship, and her husband was there on a baseball scholarship. And they just pretty much, oh, I guess I better do this one first, huh? They pretty much have been pretty happy from day one, and they've given me 3 beautiful grandchildren, which I am so grateful for. Now we'll do the circle. I keep looking at this because I can't decide how I want the tree to go. I think I want it like that. Yeah, I think the secret to this is to just do this and, you know, have it be a relaxing exercise and not a, you know, a stressful thing. Because it's a great exercise in thinking outside of the box and doing something that you may not normally do. It's great for that. Since you have to use, you know, the prompts that you're given. And I have no idea which way up. It looks like it's all different ways, so I don't think it matters. have to do this next. And actually, I may do kind of both of them at the same time so that I can get that layering that I'm wanting to do here. Alright, so if I take some art glitter glue and put on there, and also right here, that will glue my lady to my card, and then I can flip the whole thing over. And I'm using the art glitter glue on this because that card is slick, and I don't know how the glue stick. See, I'm getting out of order here. I don't know how the glue stick's going to react on that slick surface, so I'm going to put this down so that I can tell. And I need this down before I push down real hard because I want that to be under her feet. Kind of ground her a little bit. Now we'll push everything down. Oh, I gotta put some glue on that one, don't I? Can't get my pen and the glue. There we go. Okay, now is that all our elements? We've got something fancy, something that starts with an H, part of a recipe, a tree with fruit or blossoms, something torn, we've got several torn pieces, and something used in the office. Okay, so that's everything we have to have. So everything else that we do is just gravy. So I want to take some of these just to kind of create another element, plus it's something in an office. So I'm just going to put a couple of these in random spots up here. And then I'm going to take these dang-do dots that I hate. make use of them as well. Okay. And then I've got one of two quotes. Earth laughs in flowers, or there is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. I think I like this one. The size fits better. So let's ink that. And to add just another element, I'm going to get one of the tiny paper clips and put on this. And there, oops, not that one. There I go, knocking stuff on the floor. I don't know if any of you saw my, I saw it on Pinterest thing where I lost my W in the floor. I did drag it off in the floor, and but I was able to find it, of course, if you saw the finished photo. But I am constantly knocking stuff in the floor. I'm such a dork. All right, so we're gonna glue that down. Again, I can't put the pin in there. I'm struggling with that today, aren't I? Okay, so there's that. And I feel like that this is way too much up here. So I don't know if I want to use a piece of this washi. If I can get it. Which has dragonflies on it. Oh, come on. It is like doing that thing. See if I can get it even. This must be an older one because it is not wanting to come unstuck from what's underneath. I don't use these near enough. I have a ton of them. I always say I'm going to use them more. I never do. Okay, that's going to have to all go in the can. All right, so I don't know if that really adds anything. Let's do some stamping first. All right, let's look at my favorite stamps over here. I definitely think this crackly one will look good. I can put that on the pink. This is one of my favorite stamps, and I cannot tell you what stamp kit it's from because I took it off and this is how I use it. But it does this really cool crackle effect, and I love it. Okay, that helps. And then this is my second favorite stamp, and it just looks like paint blotches or ink blotches. I'm going to do it in Vintage Photo, I think, instead of... This is Ground Espresso Archival ink, and this is Vintage Photo. So we're going to do some in this. So it looks almost like you spritz coffee or something on your page. Maybe here. And then there's bigger ones on the other side if you want a little bigger splashes. Okay. And then I'm gonna do my 4 on here. I think I'm just gonna do it. I mean, this is just, the 4 is mainly just for me, so I know what week it is and when I did it, and I can compare it back to my prompts. It's the only reason for that. Okay. I kind of like how it put those lines on there too. All right. Now, do we want to do anything else? I've got some script. I don't really need that. I almost feel like there does need to be something right there, but I don't know if this washi is the ticket. See how it looks if I ink it a little bit. Maybe what I can do is scissors. Nope, I don't like that either. Nope, nope, nope. Don't like it. I think I'm happy with it just like that, like it is. Unless I want to do something like that. Put that down there. That might work. See, this is why I might put that there and restamp my 4, because I feel like it needs some pink right there, and I feel like it needs some pink right here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put this piece here. And then we're going to put this piece. Right there. Yep. And we're going to do one more. We're going to put it up there. And then we're going to restamp the 4. This is a vintage stamp that I found at a thrift store, and each little letter is separate, and it has these little lines so that you can create whatever kind of stamp, whatever you want it to say. And then it's got all the letters. There's several of each of the letters and all the numbers, and and it's got a little pair of plastic tweezers, and you take the tweezers and put them on there to make the words. Can you imagine if you had to do that for very long? That would be so tedious. Okay, and I'm gonna try to get it. I really want it like right here. There we go. All right, I promise I'm done now. I'm not doing anything else to it. So there we go. Week number 4 in the books. And like I said, you guys, I really do encourage you to go over and check out Margarete Miller's Etsy page and think about getting these prompts and doing these collages, because they are a lot of fun and they're great exercise for stepping outside the box and you know, expanding your comfort zone. And you know, we all become better artists when we go outside the norm. So the more we can do that, the better we're going to develop as individual artists and know what, you know, it helps you, I think, develop what you do and do not like by trying different things. You know, you may try something in one of these collages and you may think that you hate it, and then once you do the collage, you're like, oh, I really do like that process, or I like that look, or whatever. So it's really good, and I've really enjoyed it over the last year, and I hope that I continue to enjoy it this year. So that is going to be a wrap for this one. Now, on Sunday's video, someone had asked me on my, I saw it on Pinterest, about the sewing tag book, and I have decided how I'm going to bind that, and so that's what I will be doing in the video on Sunday, is binding the tag journal that I'm going to do with the sewing theme. So if you have not checked out that video. It's I saw it on Pinterest, episode 4, and that's where I worked on what I was going to do for the cover. So if you want to be caught up for Sunday's video, if you'll watch that one, then you'll know where we stand. And I want to thank everybody for coming back and commenting and being interested in what I'm doing. That means a lot. And if you're new, welcome. And I do appreciate each and every one of you being here and commenting and following me. And it's quite humbling, actually. And I'm really enjoying letting you see what I do, and I hope that you all are enjoying watching. So until Sunday, we'll see you then. Bye.